year is 2024. I know all over the world, Christians, they should be preparing for the big day, not forgetting about that's the new year. I'm talking about the year of 2025. What I can only say is take care of yourself as you prepare for it. But that's not the case. What has brought me in the studios at this particular moment is the daily news program at West Nile Television called NILE. My name is Oraku Benson Pastor, and today happens to be 11th of December, and the year is 2024. As usual, before I give you the details of the news, let's first take a look at the headlines. Then I'll bounce back to give you the details. In the headlines coming up tonight, Pakwati leaders raise eyebrows on stalled construction works at Wadlai. Two Paris development model leaders in Ajuman district are arrested over mismanagement. And politicians asked to look down into community challenges. More on this in NILE News. Welcome from the headlines. Now straight into the details of the news. We are starting it from Pakwati district, as the contractor taking the construction work of 5 billion shillings project at Wadlai Secondary School has come under spotlight from the leadership over the slow progress of the work. Alfred Jawok provides the details of the story.
The contractor taking construction works of 5 billion shillings project at Wadlai Secondary School has come under the spotlight from the district leadership over alleged slow progress of the works. The leaders have queried the initial stages of the construction work of 6 classroom blocks by Rema Construction Company Limited on ground that there are already signs of delay on the completion of the works after the contractor has not completed the work after 18 months in the contract agreement. While visiting the site on 10th December 2024, Moses Arake Dalele, Chief Administrative Officer, Pakwati District, explains that there is a mess at the site since the contractor has not completed the work within the given period. Dalele added that he will serve the contractor with a letter of termination of contract over the delay of the works.
All stakeholders are concerned about this project. The delays, the community members are following it up. The school community needed these structures yesterday. I already see children using them because now they have no facilities in the current state. So I think the contractor simply has let us down. These are some of the challenges with hybrid contracts. People take so many sites and that they are constrained on how to do them in time. So that's where we are. Today we wanted a site meeting, but since they have not come, we may not now talk to ourselves. We may now withdraw and continue monitoring. Once that is due, December reaches and there is no much progress, we are definitely going to release the contract. So basically that's the briefing.
One person found at the site who preferred anonymity failed to explain to the district leaders on why the work has stalled for over 21 months now. Honorable Omito Robert Steen, Pakwati District Chairperson, equally said the contractor is overwhelmed with many contracts awarded to him, leading to his termination.
This guy has just taken the contract he has taken it for granted. We cannot proceed and continue with him anymore. So we can terminate that. We have that engagement on Friday.
Mr. Tiberius Pachotho, Chairman Board of Director, Wadlai Secondary School, appealed to the district engineer to come up with clear reasons why they have taken long to inspect the site. Pachotho expressed his disappointment over the delay of the works, as value for money is not seen.
I am really disappointed with the contractor since the contract was given to him. Up to date, he has not completed his construction. Therefore, we as board members, we have decided that we should write a letter to the Ministry of Education and also to the Ministry of Prime Minister and also to
Meanwhile, Christina Shayo, Pakwach District Education Officer, showed her dissatisfaction over the work done at Wadlai City Secondary School after carrying out monitoring at the site. According to Ashayo, the contractor never reported to the site for a meeting with the leaders. As district, they will take necessary measures. They are in touch with the Ministry of Education and Sports over the matter.
So we are not going to get tired. On Friday this week we shall come as he requested, and then we see whether he comes with the person he is subcontracting to continue with this work, with this project. So I think all of us should be back here on Friday at 2.
It is unclear whether the contractor will beat the deadline of 1 month, as some of the houses are not roofed, plastered, among others. The people who got on site declined to divulge information about the project, but referred the committee to the company Engineer Rema Construction Limited, who could not be reached at the time of filing this story, as the same contractor is taking projects at other sites under World Bank project. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Moving to Madi region, particularly in Ajuman district and the tackling economical part of it, police in Ajuman district have apprehended Paris Development Module Chairman of Mbere Paris for misappropriating the Paris Development Model Fund. Take a look at the story.
Police in Ajumani district have apprehended Parish Development Model Chairman of Mbere Parish for misappropriating the Parish Development Model Fund. During a meeting in the office of the Resident District Commissioner, Ajumani District, Dr. Peter Taban, the Resident District Commissioner, said they have received complaints from the residents appealing for aid to rescue them from being charged by Parish Development Model leaders 5,000 each Ugandan shillings before receiving the fund. He also said through the information received, illegal names of beneficiaries have been added, leaving behind the persons meant.
Complaints from members of the PDM in Mbere Parish, that is in Zaibisau County and in Ajuman district, that the chairperson has collected people who are not within the parish and is giving them money. That is one of the issues that made us call them. And unfortunately, when we called, we also realized that the person who is not from that parish was given 1.5 instead of the 1 million, which is supposed to be given to all. Secondly, we also realized one of the ladies whom withheld her name, who also applied and her name appeared. She even was told the money has entered, but when she went to the bank, the money was not there.
Stina Muzamli, a resident of Mbere Parish Zaipi sub-county, lamented how they have been charged before handing the money to the intended beneficiaries.
It was last year on August. That's where we applied for the loan with our group name is Alenzo. Then after that we applied for that loan. They called us that we have to come and get a form. We got that form with 5,000 each. After that they called us that we have to come with the loan processing. The loan processing 25. We paid for that. And this year, October, they called us in our JP office headquarters that we have to come with 5,000 for a data for our profiling. Even we have paid for that. Then reaching November this year, they told me that let me go to the bank and get my money. Reaching to the bank, there is nothing in my account.
The RDC Taban Peter Data further affirmed that charging beneficiaries before availing the money is not acceptable and it's a huge corruption which is punishable. He meanwhile underscored that investigations into the matter is ongoing.
The third issue that has caused us to arrest 100 people, when you pick 25,000 shillings, that is 2.5. That's big money. So that is part of the corruption tendency that the chairperson was doing that caused the arrest. We would have arrested also the chief, the parish chief, but unfortunately, this parish chief has recently been transferred. But we are on the look. We have already called the former parish chief to come and answer some questions. And if you also find that he is part of the committee, in the corruption tendency.
In Ajumani district, so far 3 parish development model chairpersons have been arrested for mismanagement. Masidraru, Onjima Alan, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Moving to the political part of it, still keeping the pace within Arua City, different politicians are asked to impress and support their communities wholeheartedly in various sectors while still on power. This message was passed by the General Secretary and Accounting Officer of Moon University, the General Secretary and Accounting Officer of Moon University. I am talking about Banya Emmanuel Natal, after seeing and analyzing some of the developmental gaps in some communities. Take a look at the story.
See, politics is not an employment. Politics is not a job. Politics is service. There are challenges that we find at the local level that we think will be addressed by leaders. But somehow these leaders seem not to see the reality of what's going on ground. If you look at last year, for example, in the whole of Koboko County, a county of 6 local governments, we had only 9 first grade in the primary. You come to the secondary schools. Our giant secondary school in Koboko is St. Charles Luanga. The Nyangelia, the Town College, the Daystar, Nyarloa, these ones came later. But St. Charles Luanga was the giant. Now, the school went to the dogs. At one time, St. Charles Luanga had only 180 pupils. That is how bad it was. Now, the question is, if those of us who have achieved something in life and have risen to these positions, we don't take leadership to go and stimulate new energy in the communities, who else will do that? For example, if you studied in Kampala, in a town school, you may not understand the challenge children go through in the village schools. Some of us have a taste of what it means to study in a village school. So we talk from an informed point of view. I think as a member of parliament, as a leader who have your people at mind, you can own a small room like this in town. Put the printer there. The schools will come with just the reams of paper, print, photocopy, and take these materials back for the children to have revision for them. Introduce reward systems for teachers who excel. Introduce bursaries for children who excel in the region. Look at agriculture. Today, the workforce that is supposed to be in the agriculture sector, our youth, are on the road, on border. And gentlemen, there is no way you are going to say we are going to pull this border to go back to the village to dig. They will not. Now, we need to encourage our communities to move into smart agriculture using technology, tractors, hand tractors, and the rest. While these youth are in the streets with the border, let them make money. When there's smart agriculture, they give their parents so that the parents can use this money for plowing in the villages and supporting them. You find that a lot of young men are trying to sing very nice music, but nobody is taking them to another level. Elsewhere, people are becoming billionaires because of sports and music. And for us here, we don't do professionally. So what do you want to do? I think the most important thing we can do is really to support this youth. You look at our roads today. You drive from Kampala up to Kitigu, Kapeti Road. You drive from Kampala up to Lira, Kapeti Road. You drive from Kampala up to Soroti, Kapeti Road. But you drive from Kampala to Arua, trouble. Why? Because you find there's only 1 or 2 MPs who are fighting for how bad the road is. Others are very comfortable sleeping. Kapeti Road. You drive from Kampala up to Lira, Kapeti Road. You drive from Kampala up to Soroti, Kapeti Road. But you drive from Kampala to Arua, trouble. Why? Because you find there's only 1 or 2 MPs who are fighting for how bad the road is. Others are very comfortable sleeping.
Well, come back from that particular story, still keeping the pace forward. Now moving to Madi region again, particularly in Moyo district. I can confirm to you this evening, the leaders from Moyo district have expressed their gratitude after great improvement of network in the district. Okumu Dominic compiles the details about that particular story.
For long, most parts of the district, especially Meto sub-county, parts of Moyo sub-county and Lefori sub-counties have been grappling with network challenges, with many people moving long distance to specific spots in order to access network so as to communicate with their loved ones. Honorable Asusi J. Bissam, the Secretary for Finance and Production, Moyo District Local Government, who also doubles as the District Councillor, Meto sub-county, outlined the areas with low network coverage within the district and lauded the telecommunication network for coming to improve network coverage, saying without network, communication cannot be effective.
The most affected areas in the Greater Meto, places like Abeso, Patakiri Parish. If I say Abeso Parish, the entire Abeso Parish, the entire Patakiri Parish is facing challenges of network. You come to Tombio, you go to Lea Parish, places like Ibari, Arapi, Oyo. When you come to area Paris in Moyo sub-county, they are facing the same problem. Not only that, but even in Lefori, particularly Masalo, parts of Masalo is facing a lot of problem up to Chokwe connecting to Kolo Kolo. So I really want to thank the companies that are coming to support my community in the district. Without proper network, communication becomes a problem. The country is moving to ICT. Most of the things are done online. So if we don't have network in those areas, accessing information becomes a problem.
Sekamwa Julian, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner Moyo, said the district had been grappling with the challenge of network coverage, but they managed to present their query to the various stakeholders for actions so as to improve the network coverage across the district.
Generally, we've been having a problem at the district when it comes to coverage. The coverage of network, and then that covers also the internet, because without network there will be no internet. Gradually we've been trying to address this through the different communication channels to the different stakeholders, and I'm happy to report that as of today we have a team from MTN. They are conducting an on-ground assessment of the network coverage in all areas of Moyo, and from there they will find a way on how to boost our network from border to border. So that problem we are now up to the point of solving.
Honorable Anyama Williams, the Chairman Local Council 5 Moyo District, said the district has sent in representatives to move with the MTN staff so as to collect data on the places experiencing network problems, adding that the lack of network in these areas has for long affected service delivery to the public living in such areas, but believes this will soon come to an end.
Deployed a team. They are together with the MTN staff. They have gone to the field. We have given them the list of places where there are network problems. For instance, area Paris in Moyo sub-county has a big network problem, including where Moyo district headquarters, the new Moyo district local government head office is being located. There's a big challenge there. So even now we are making arrangements to see, as we move there, there should be network in that area. Today, you cannot even pay salaries when there is no network. You cannot run a government where there is no network. There is a team from MTN Kampala. They're in the field collecting data and to see how this challenge can be addressed. And I'm very optimistic. Once we address this network problem, it will improve business, it will improve communication, it will improve accessibility, and generally the quality of life of people will improve in these areas as well.
Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Now looking at what is happening in the world of sports, I can confirm the European night still continues. I am talking about UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, not forgetting about the Baby League. I am talking about Europa Conference. But since yesterday and today, we have the games in UEFA Champions League, but some selected games still being played in UEFA Europa League. But for Europa Conference, it's bouncing back tomorrow. Let's start with the games that are set to be played tonight in UEFA Champions League. Remember, we are only left with very few rounds for the group stages of the UEFA Champions League to come to climax. After that, we'll be getting into the knockout stages. That's round of 16, and also the playoffs for some of the teams that are going to finish in the lower positions to see that they pave way for the knockout stages of round of 16. Let's now take a look at the fixtures to be played tonight, with Atletico Madrid set to stay at home at Wanda Metropolitan as they take on Slovan Bratislava. Meanwhile, for Sturm Graz of Austria, they are taking a trip away to Lille of France. Meanwhile, for AC Milan, they are having a tricky fixture up against Red Star Belgrade. Meanwhile, AS Monaco is traveling to England, particularly in London, to take on Arsenal. Meanwhile, for the team of Borussia Dortmund, they will have to stay at Signal Iduna Park as they welcome Barcelona. And for Sparta Prague of Czech Republic, they are taking a trip away to Feyenoord to take on that's a Giants. And for the Bianconeris, that's all the ladies, they are set to play the champions of 2022. I am talking about the champions of 2023 rather. I am talking about the team of Manchester City. Meanwhile, the rock bottom team, as far as the log is concerned, the Young Boys of Switzerland, they are traveling away to the Stuttgart of German Bundesliga. Now this one takes us to some of the games that we have played yesterday, still in the same league. I am talking about UEFA Champions League. The first game was actually between Celtic and Dynamo Zagreb. This game took place in Croatia and it ended without any goal being put into the back of the net. I mean, Bayern. For Liverpool, they had to edge out Girona by a goal to nil. Real Madrid edged out Atalanta by 3-2 in 5-goal thriller. And for Bayer Leverkusen, they got it late against the finals of 2023, beating Inter Milan by a goal to nil. The same scoreline registered by Brest of France over PSV Eindhoven of Dutch Eredivisie. Meanwhile, surprisingly, Club Brugge of Belgium were 2-1 winners over Sporting Lisboa of Portugal. For Aston Villa, they got it late through Duran's goal against RB Leipzig, winning the game by 3-2. Meanwhile, for Salzburg of Austria, things never worked out for them as they were thumped at home by the team of Paris Saint-Germain by 3-0. The biggest scoreline was registered by the team of Bayern Munich over Shakhtar Donetsk, which ended by 5-1. And this one takes us to the table standing. Right now, Liverpool is leading the table. They have maintained 100% start to the new season of UEFA Champions League. They are having 18 points out of the 6 games they have played. Number 2 is the team of Bayer Leverkusen with 13 points. At number 3 is Aston Villa with 13 points. At number 4 is Inter Milan also with 13 points. At number 5 is Brest with 13 points. Meanwhile, Barcelona sits at number 5. At number 6 rather with 12 points. At number 7 is Borussia Dortmund with 12 points. And top 8 is completed by the team of Bavarians. That's Bayern Munich with something of around 12 points there. What about Real Madrid? After winning the game against Atalanta yesterday night, they have climbed up to number 18th. That means they are already in the position of the playoffs. What about for Paris Saint-Germain? They have occupied the last slot of the playoffs, sitting somewhere at number 24 with 7 points. For Real Madrid, they are having 9 points. Leaving that one there, and we now talk about the second tier of English football. That's the championship. Right now, the team which is leading the table is Leeds with 41 points out of 20 games they have played. At number 2 is Sheffield United with 39 points. At number 3 is Exeter Burnley with 38 points. Meanwhile, the team that has occupied the 4th position is people's favorites called Sunderland. They are at number 4 with 37 points. At number 5 is Blackburn with 34 points, and the top 6 is completed by the team of Middlesbrough with 31 points, losing yesterday's game into the hands of Leeds. And let's now take a look at the games in Championship played yesterday night, with Burnley playing out a barren draw with Derby. Meanwhile, Luton Town were 2-1 winners over Stoke City, with Swansea City registering a 2-1 win over Plymouth Argyle. Meanwhile, for Portsmouth, they had to settle for a barren draw with Norwich, and Blackburn 1 traveled away to Sheffield Wednesday. They won the game by a goal to nil. Meanwhile, Sunderland shared the spoils with Bristol City. It ended 1-1. As I had said earlier on, Leeds were 3-1 winners over Middlesbrough. And in the game set to be played tonight, with Cardiff having a game up against Bristol City. Meanwhile, Watford will travel and knock the doors of Hull City. Meanwhile, for Millwall, they will have to gather their players as the play that's Sheffield United. And for newly promoted side, Oxford United, they will have to test the hostility of Queen's Park Rangers. And the last game set to be played tonight will be a tricky fixture between West Bromwich Albion and the team of West Bromwich Albion up against Coventry United. And let's take a look at some of the trending stories here. And I also need to highlight to you some of the transfer rumors, because we are only left with something of 20 days for January transfer window to open. And Pep Guardiola, the head coach of Manchester City, has clearly come up saying that he will not be in position to manage any other club once his contract with Manchester City gets done. And he joined Manchester City way back in 2016 from the team of Bayern Munich. In the process, he has won already 15 major trophies with the team of citizens, and in the process, the biggest gong he won for Manchester City was the UEFA Champions League. He has won, and he has clearly come up saying that he will not be retiring, but he will not be managing any club, maybe national team. Let's wait and see how things will transpire for the two parties, that's Manchester City and the head coach Pep Guardiola. And this one now takes our trend to some of the transfer rumors and speculations here. Manchester United are considering offloading Rashford in January transfer window, and we are waiting to see if this deal will go through. And still keeping the tap within Old Trafford, Manchester United are also willing to let go defender that's Martinez in case Real Madrid will still be interested in his signature. Leaving that one there at the camp of Arsenal. Arsenal right now, they are eyeing a striker, and the striker they are eyeing right now is the frontman for the Bianconeri, that's Juventus. I'm talking about Dusan Vlahovic. Remember, before this guy crossed over to Juventus, Arsenal was very much interested in his signature when he was still playing for Fiorentina. And right now, Arsenal, they have registered again their interest in signing the player. Meanwhile, Virgil van Dijk, Netherlands defender who is playing for the team of Liverpool, 33 years of age, is also willing to sign new contract with the Cops. I'm talking about the team of Liverpool. And for Newcastle, they are already tracking Belgium under-21 winger who is playing for PSV Eindhoven called Johan Bakayoko, and we're also waiting to see if they can be able to lure his services in the upcoming January transfer window. Still going back to Arsenal, Arsenal are also interested in recruiting sporting director, that's Dan Ashworth. Remember, this guy has officially left Manchester United. At first, he was the sporting director for Newcastle, leaving Newcastle, recently coming to Manchester United because things are not working out. He has decided to depart, that's Manchester United, and Arsenal wants to lure his services. I am talking about a sporting director in the names of Dan Ashworth. Lastly, I know so many people might know about this player called Theo Hernandez. AC Milan is willing to offload him, and they will demand something of around £41 million. I'm talking about the left back, that's Theo Hernandez. Meanwhile, for Lucas Hernandez, he was already playing in his home country for the team of Paris Saint-Germain. That one brings us to the end of today's edition of Nilecast News. It has been me, Oracle Benson Pastore, in front of the lens. Let's link up again tomorrow. What I can say is, have the best of your moments.